What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined tonight by the man, Brian DeGennaro. How we doing today, Brian?
I'm fantastic, Pat. How are you?
Listen, I can't complain too much. We have a really fun topic to talk about. I always love talking about prospects, and tonight we're talking about Hoy Jun Park, kind of like the value that he's proven to the Yankees so far this season, and just how the value continues to rise. But before we get into anything, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. Like I always say, we're going live before and after every single Yankees game this season, so stay tuned for that content. But Hoy Jun Park, where we're talking about a dude who honestly, going into the season, was not really talked about as being like one of the Yankees' top prospects, one of the guys
No.
to keep an eye on in AA, AAA. But here we are. It's the end of June, and we're talking about him possibly like coming up to the big leagues and making such an impact, like a Ketel Marte type impact, because that's what the Yankees are trying to mold him into being. We already know he plays second base, a little bit of shortstop as well. But now last night for the first time, the Yankees played him in center field, which I think is very, very telling of what their plan is moving forward. You could take it either way, right? One, you could take it the way as the Yankees are just trying to increase Park's versatility. That way, if they want him to come up and play center field, he's able to do so. Or you could kind of look at it this way and saying the Yankees are going to try Hoy Jun Park in center field so that they don't have to go out and acquire a center fielder at the trade deadline, which could go either way. It could be good or could be bad. I don't know, but all I do know is that he's raked so far this season, no matter where he's played. He's played just about half the season AA, half the season in AAA. But I mean, honestly, he's raking in AAA when he wasn't doing that good in AA. In like 25 games, he's batting over 350, over 500 on base, just absolutely mashing no matter where he goes. And also beautiful left-handed swing practically made for Yankee Stadium. So, Brian, let me know, what do you think about Hoy Jun Park and kind of just the value that he's created for himself so far this season?
Yeah, man. Like you said, it's pretty impressive to see a guy go from kind of struggling in Double A and then go up to Triple A and just absolutely rake. He's batting, I think, 370 now with an OPS around 1200. Like that's really good, regardless of where you're playing, right?
For sure.
So I mean, he's made a case for himself to get a shot in the big leagues. And I think, like you said, playing in center field last night is a huge sign that they want to, increase his versatility. He could play a role kind of like Tyler Wade does right now, except that he could actually hit, which would be nice. And it'd be great to see. But I think one of the things that we wanted to touch upon was that he would be a great replacement for Rougned Odor right now, right? Because Odor has been absolutely terrible. He has no place on this roster. He's just been horrific in every situation. Get him off this team and give a young guy a shot like Park. I think that would be awesome to see. And you said, lefty bat, great swing, Yankee Stadium.
No, exactly. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like, in this whole situation, the Yankees are just kind of creating like a replacement for Rougned Odor within the organization, which kind of confuses me in the sense of like they knew they had Park when acquiring Odor. Obviously, he wasn't putting up these types of numbers, but this just furthers my kind of baffleness, if that's even a word. I just created it. My baffleness as to why they even traded for Rougned Odor, because he hasn't proven anything so far besides his energy. Why he deserves to be on this Yankees team. And I think Park is kind of just putting on full display why the Yankees should just go ahead and DFA Odor, which honestly probably won't happen, simply because it'll put them over the luxury tax, because they're going to have to pay his contract for next season as well if they do so. But I don't know. I think right now, I don't think there's any debate as to whether or not Park is the better option over Odor.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you said it best. It's kind of baffled everyone to see him do this well. I mean, he's a guy that I don't even remember being talked about in any spring training ever. So it's not even like, a guy like Ambergy we've seen up in spring training before. People talk about him and everything. But Park, I've never even heard of really before this season. So it's kind of, it's weird to see a guy come out of nowhere and hit this well. And like I said, I think it baffled the organization, not just us, because it doesn't seem like they saw it coming. So I mean, what do you have to say about that? Like, what does that say about the Yankees organization that they can't even evaluate their own guys?
Honestly, I think it just kind of goes to show how confident the Yankees have really become in him, right? The fact that they're going to throw him out in center field for the first time in his career, right? I think also it's kind of telling of how the Yankees view their current center field situation, right? Because obviously, the numbers will tell you Brett Gardner has had a solid month of June, but I think deep down the Yankees still know that he's not the solution in center field moving down, and especially if you're looking to make a postseason run this year. So I think if they think Park might be a temporary fill-in until they could go out and get somebody, sure. But I think it's important to remember that even though Park is doing so well in AAA, he cannot be considered the long-term solution in center field,
No,
especially this season. I think
no,
the Yankees still need to acquire somebody. However, I think it's still worth giving him a shot when I say that.
yeah,
So I think the perfect scenario right here. Agree? Do you agree with me? Yes or no? You DFA Rougned Odor. I don't care about luxury tax, and you call up Hoy Jun Park.
100%.
What is there to lose?
That's the correct baseball move. I mean, even if you just want to play the hot hand, like the guy's just been absolutely raking lately. Just like give him a shot. But I mean, at the end of the day, don't you want to see what a young guy like that can do in the major leagues?
Exactly.
Because you're saying that he can't be the long term solution, and you're probably right. He probably isn't the long term solution. But what if he comes up to the majors and continues to this production? What if he can replicate that at the major league level and consistently?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're never gonna know if you don't bring him up, and I think right now is as good a time as ever.
I agree. I agree 1,000%. I mean, also kind of the route that the Yankees could be going with this is they could be building up his trade value, right? By making him
Sure.
more versatile as well. So maybe they're doing that as well. There's so many different ways to look at this, but I think kind of like the bottom line of the whole thing is that Hoy Jun Park has kind of just made a name for himself in the Yankees organization, which is something that's usually very hard to do, right? Even if a
Yeah.
guy does put up really good numbers, sometimes they kind of just fall by the wayside and don't really gain too much traction. But I mean, you have people coming out left and right talking about Hoy Jun Park simply because of
Yeah.
what he's doing, bro. You're looking at walk-off home runs. You're looking at playing every position in the field. You're looking at a beautiful left-handed swing. I don't know if there's a player in the Yankees minor league system right now that would fit better on the major league team than Hoy Jun Park, Ryan. And
No.
that's not only because of the offensive production, but now because of the versatility as well. I think that that's huge. He could even be like a better option than Tyler Wade at this point. It's actually
Exactly.
getting to that level. So I think the
Yeah.
bottom line is that the Yankees just need to give him an opportunity. I'd love to see an opportunity given, especially with the way Rougned Odor's been struggling. The way the offense has kind of picked it up as of late, I would say. But I mean, you could still kind of use that left-handed contact bat, maybe
Absolutely.
inject some youth energy into there. So I think bottom line,
Absolutely.
give the dude a chance.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think you're 100% right.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. But with that being said, that is gonna wrap things up for today's episode. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Once again, I know we kind of talk about these prospects all the time. Sometimes they come up and they're bust, but I
Sure.
think it's important to kind of just bring up the discussion that the Yankees do have these guys in the minor leagues that
Yeah.
are raking and do have the potential to do well in the Bronx if given the opportunity. And I think that's all they need, the opportunity. But with that being said, appreciate everybody for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. We're going live before and after every single Yankees game this season, so stay tuned for that content. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Peace.